Okay, everybody looks
do
good.
sound
We're
good.
like way the hell early. 5 minutes early. Let me cue up y'all's intro, and I'll put y'all in early. Let y'all get an extra 5 minutes in tonight.
Cool.
All right, we can bring out some bourbon. Or I get some good brandy, man. Break out the snifter and the heater. Here we go. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Good evening and welcome to Chasing Prophecy on the UFO Paranormal Network, FM 107 New Orleans, where we discuss anything and everything beyond the scope of normal. Remember to like us on YouTube and follow us on Instagram and Twitch TV. I'm Jenny, along with Sean and Jason from Pittsburgh Paranormal. But before we get started, I want to tell our listeners to have an open mind this evening, especially because we're going to be dealing with the paranormal. And it's spooky, scary. Sometimes when we open ourselves up to the paranormal, anything can happen, and negatively too. So if you are struggling with depression, anxiety, or fear in your life, we all need someone to talk to, and Filter Therapy is there to help you. Speak with a professional therapist from the comforts of your own home without having to wait in the crowded office. Confidential and low cost. Visit filtertherapy.com. They're there for you. Okay, so I'm going to talk a little bit before I get to our regular crew, Sean and Jason, on. We're going to do a little bit of history, okay, about the Blair House. It was built in 1847 on the banks of the Ohio River. The Blair House is reputed to be one of the most haunted houses in America. Believe it or not, it's up there with Amityville. The Blair House sits on what is known as a ravine. I think that's what it's called, a lee-line. I'm not sure. I might be saying that wrong, so Sean and Jason will have to correct me if I am. This means there's consistent wellsprings of paranormal activity that goes all through the house, with portals of ghosts coming back from the dead. Yeah, I'm telling you. Numerous coal mine blasts have happened near the Blair House. With this, numerous lives have been lost. Behind the house sits a Native American Indian interment area. In front of the house lies on the Ohio River. As dark spirits are removed from the house, more seem to return every time and again. And there's also believed to be a child soul staying inside the Blair House. Her name is Emily. Davis, and she used to play at the Blair House when she was a little kid. And there was an additional second Emily. Am I saying that right, Jason? Emily Davis at the house. I didn't have too much to drink today. No, I'm not. Too much coffee. Emily is not alone. There's Jacob and there's Edwin there to keep her company. For whatever reason, the house seems to draw individuals who similar names. I'm not sure why, like Emily. And it seems like, I'm not sure, but I do believe that she was suffocated. So I'm not sure. We'll get to the facts on that in a minute. But the owner, Kristen Lee, believes something may contribute to the paranormal activity, maybe because it's situated on the Ohio River where there's a constant flow of energy, or it's because it's near a Native American land where massacres and bloodshed. Either way, it seems to bring in a lot of entities. There was rumor that there was torture and because of slaves, but that wasn't the slave area, so I'm not sure why that would have happened. But as we go on, one of the elements that's kind to brings the spirit world is fire, and there were explosions that killed a lot of coal miners, and some people think that because of the constellations above the land that has something to do with it, and mostly because there were deaths in the house. Tonight we're going to discuss the evidence that Sean and Jason and the rest of Pittsburgh Paranormal brought in from their second visit to the Blair House in Ohio. So I just want to also say, if you want to connect with a loved one and are in need of a specific guidance from a loved one, or a career choice, relationship, or any unique life paths, you can trust professional psychic medium author Carol Obley from Soul Vision to deliver compelling evidence, messages from your spirits of loved ones who had passed on. She can bring some insight to that. And you can reach Carol via Skype at www.soulvision.net to schedule your session. So, Jason and Sean, welcome back, guys.
Good evening.
I just wanted to get some history because I wanted to spend the rest of the night just talking with you and Russ, who's with us tonight, about your second trip to the Blair House. And so if I missed anything in the history, here's your chance to chime in. Jason, Sean, whoever wants to go.
Well, it's not. I mean, you pretty much, nailed it on the head with the research on the history. What you found out is what we know, actually, pretty much down to the T. And as far as the area, it's definitely just the area itself. You were talking about like the Ohio River and everything. The whole area just has a weird vibe to it. I wouldn't say it's good, but it's not bad. But it's just different. And then right in the center, that's the Blair House, which is like, I don't know, maybe the Blair House is the one that's causing all the weird feelings in the area. I don't know. I don't know for facts on that or not, but it's quite interesting, and we got a lot to talk about tonight. And I think a lot of people are going to find this a good show to really dive in and see what we saw firsthand once we start diving in.
Yeah, and if you guys, you can give us a call in at the station, and I'm going to have to look up that number again because I've always losing the number to the station.
867-5309.
That's Jenny. Oh, God. I'll have to look up that number.
Well, I'll tell you what, with the house this year compared to last year, it was like a totally different vibe. If you remember last year when we went there, the first night was a happy house, but the second night it was a very, very mean house, like demonic, if you want to call it. But this year around, when we went to the house, Friday was a good night, and Saturday was a
right
good night.
Right in the center, that's the Blair House.
But it was crazy because we got a lot of
I don't know,
evidence there on Saturday night, and I hope our viewers keep tuning into us and check out our webpage, because I'm telling you what, it was one hell of a night.
Well, let's start off from when you got there. I know if anybody wants to check out the videos while we're talking about it, you can go to Pittsburgh Paranormal Society. There's some clips there of some of the things that happened that night. But when you got there, the very first moment you were in the house, did you pick up anything unusual? Was it calm?
So I was the first one there, obviously, the last time, because I'm just so anxious. I'm like a kid waiting for Christmas. I'm like, okay, time to go. I'm out the door. Let's go. But I was the first one there. I got there probably about an hour early from everybody else because I had a lot of equipment to load in. And, since we had experience there before, I was like, I'm going to walk in. I'm just going to feel the house out this time, see where we're at, see if it's going to be, because last time, like Sean said, Friday was happy. Saturday wasn't very happy, but we didn't get a lot of hard evidence from last time. Now this time, it was a whole different ball game. So, when I get there, my first thing is I have to go upstairs to the attic because there's just an energy coming from up there that it's undescribable.
What kind of energy is it?
I don't know. I can't remember where all the portals are because I think there's 11 in that house. I know one of them is upstairs somewhere in the attic. I haven't, really figured out where it's at up there yet. But when you go to walk up those steps, the energy, it just hits you. It's like you can't really describe it. It's just something that overwhelms your body, and you're just like, what is this that I feel? I'm not sure, but being that we're in the paranormal, we know that that's a spiritual energy or a portal energy, that's open.
For Jason, for someone who, there's a lot of people that just are tuning in. What's a portal?
A portal is a particular spot where spirits can channel through. They could actually be coming from anywhere. You might have like relatives or friends that might find their way through a portal. You could have total strangers, residual spirits that could flow through a portal. They are able to be closed. That's where you have to have professionals come in. A lot of the times, it could be anything. It could be good or bad that comes through them. A lot of times people won't know that they're there. Now, the first time I experienced one, I'll let everybody in on this, was in my basement of my house, which we've talked about before. There was always this one spot in the first basement that led to the second one that was just real cold. Just one spot was real cold, and it just real, like, eerie feeling when you walk through just this one spot. If you moved a couple feet left, right, whatever, it was fine. It was one spot, and that's before I was really involved with paranormals. And it ended up being, once I got Sean and his crew here, and that's when I met him back in 2013, that there was a portal there. And when we investigated, you could just see orbs, through the cameras were just coming out of this one focused spot. So it's basically just like an energy form that spirits can channel through at any given time, day or night. It doesn't matter, 24/7.
Okay, so you went there, and you felt more activity in the basement and in the attic. Okay.
Yes.
So the very first thing that you did, that first night. Tell us what you guys did that very first. I guess your investigation. What was the first thing that you did?
Well, the first thing we did was set up an immense amount of equipment.
Tell us what you had.
So that's an art show right there, Jenny.
I'll try to sum it up. If anybody wants.
Yeah, just tell them what what kind of equipment you use, and if somebody wants to start doing their own investigations for fun, or start their own, an organization, like what would be the. Go ahead, just go on, rattle off what you use.
For the basics, for when I started, and a lot of people started, is a basic K2 meter, which detects, fluctuations in the EMF field. An audio recorder. The best one that I found, and it's fairly inexpensive, it's around $100, is the Zoom H1. I've had mine for about 15 years, and it's been one of the best pieces of gear I've ever had.
And what does that pick up? Did it pick up anything while you were there?
I didn't get a chance to review that yet because I was going through video, because I had, I think, 8 cameras running.
Okay.
But
Jesus.
So you got a K2, you got your handheld audio recorders. You want to have night vision cameras. If you're just starting out, You can find a lot of good deals, for under $100 to get you started. Night vision camera and IR lights, or you definitely need to get IR lights.
IR lights. Now, what does an IR light do?
IR lights are infrared lights. So when you have a camera that's set up for infrared, that's what pretty much illuminates the room so the camera can see it. We can't see it, but you can be in pitch black and it'll look green on your camera screen, but that's how you can find, the shadows and bumps in the night that you can't see with your eyeballs.
Okay.
Spirit box is an excellent piece of equipment. I think I was talking about one of our live videos from there. To make sure, a high recommendation is to get a Faraday pouch.
And what's that?
Now, the Faraday pouch is what blocks out all the actual radio signal from radio stations.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I got that.
So while your spirit box is doing a sweep, you're blocking out all the radio stations. So then whatever does come through is a manifestation, or spirits coming through, and it's a lot easier to hear them. And actually, the spirit box with the audio recorder is a good idea to use them in conjunction with each other. And here's why. So we've been on investigations, and you think you hear something or you thought you heard something, but then you go back and review the audio, and it might actually be different than what you heard in the moment. And there's a lot of times that you won't hear a spirit coming through the spirit box, but you'll catch it when you're reviewing your audio. So that's just a little tip of advice for anybody that's using the kind of stuff.
Okay.
I like Russ's camera. Russ's camera's good.
Yeah.
Telling people about our.
Yeah, Russ. Tell us about the equipment that you have. It's pretty cool.
Russell.
Is he there?
Russ.
He ghosted us.
Hello.
Okay.
Hello.
Well, Russ, are you there?
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yeah, can you hear me?
Russ,
Yeah.
welcome back.
We hear you.
Yeah. Tell us about your equipment.
I got the SLS camera. That's remarkable. I gave that to our youngest member, Danny, to use. We call him Dollar Dan. And I just got a new thermal camera. I just got a new thermal camera that hooks up to your phone, which is pretty good. Didn't catch nothing with it. We did, but I went down and debunked it. It was a reflection.
Yeah, that's a pretty creepy one, though. I remember you showed it
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, Russ, I have a question for you.
Shoot.
This has been on my mind all week since Bel Air House. Russell, with the equipment that you have, my $1 million question to you: did you catch that sumbitch on Sean's left shoulder that he talks about?
No.
Didn't.
Missed it. So we missed it.
Some bitch is on my back.
Okay, since for someone who doesn't know what that is, how about explain what happened?
Russ,
We go on investigations, and Sean always says, "Some bitch is on my back." So I got a thermal camera to catch him.
Okay, so it's just something that happens. I thought that maybe that was something that was going on. I think there was a ghost on my screen too while we were talking. Okay, so you guys went. Okay, tell us what happened first. I know the candle, was that the first night?
yes.
Yeah.
Okay, tell us what happened with the candle.
We were doing a spirit box session, and getting some communications, and we were running K2 meters, and everything was hitting. K2 meters were going off the charts, and we did a sweep of the room and everything to make sure there's no interfering electrical or anything of that nature, and there wasn't, so we know it was legit. So we were starting to ask questions to Edwin, and at one point we're like, why does nobody have a camera? So I was like, Russ, get a camera. And go ahead, Russ, take it from here, since you're the man that caught it. This is all you, brother.
So I turned around and got the camera, and I was holding it on our circle, and we had 2 candles lit, and they were lit for maybe about 45 minutes. And I said, Edwin, if you're here, can you make one of these candles go out? But don't burn yourself. And that right at that moment, that candle went. It didn't blow out, it just went dimmer, dimmer, and then out.
And then out. Yeah, it faded out.
Yeah.
It was so cool.
Okay, it wasn't like someone
Like-
blew it out.
No.
Okay, and
Yeah,
there
it
was
didn't
no
go right
air
out,
coming
it just
in.
died.
Okay, so it just like someone just slowly. Now, I want to ask you a question. Was this an old candle? Was there much wax in it? Was there the wick? Was the wick going?
Yeah, it's a big candle. It's one of them big round, about 3-inch diameter candles.
So it
It's
wasn't
been
an old
wax.
candle that's been ready to hit. Okay.
No, it was
We
new.
don't-
Okay, and you do have that on Paranormal Society for someone to go check it out, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yes.
Okay, so we have the candle.
It's like, did you ever have a candle and then put like a lid on it?
Yeah,
and it loses
like someone.
oxygen?
Okay, so the oxygen was drained from the candle. Okay, so we have the candle. And that was on the first night.
Yep.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Anything happen after the candle that first night?
Oh, yes.
Not to my recollection.
The
Well,
flashlight.
ask Jason.
Yeah, the flashlight. So,
yeah. Oh my God, yeah.
so this is really cool.
Wow.
So I had 4 surveillance cameras set up in the house running the entire weekend pretty much. And so me and Augie, we decided to go into the basement where it's real heavy and real negative down there in the one part of the basement. And this is all on video, and everybody can see all these clips on the Facebook page. So we're in there. I think it was around 2:00 in the morning. We were just doing a standard K2 session, just hanging out. We weren't really feeling a whole lot at the time, and so we just started asking questions. And we couldn't see this flashlight. It was on the other side of the wall, on a table inside like some kind of like glass shelving or something. So we're just over there doing our thing, and then we decided, let's go to another area or whatever. After about a half an hour. So we get up and we walk out through the doorway, and I says, "Og," I said, "Did you turn this flashlight on? Like, I didn't even know this was here." He's like, "What flashlight?" And he come out and he's like, "No, dude." He's like, "I didn't even know that was there. Is that yours?" I said, "No, it's not mine. Is it yours?" "No, nobody knows who it is." So we checked it out, and it was a flashlight actually from another paranormal group. I guess it was there previously and might maybe have left it there or whatever. So I'm like, wow, this is really strange. This light just is on.
Okay.
So I'm like, you know what? Let's go check the surveillance footage. He's like, all right, let's go do it. So we go upstairs. We're looking through the footage, and right around 2:00, we're just in there minding our own business, asking questions. And you hear a click, which is the weird part, because this light's a turn style. It doesn't have a button, but you hear a click and the light comes on. And it was on for about that half an hour till we left the room.
Okay, when you touched turned the flashlight on, was it did it go off for you and go on for you when you hit the switch?
There's no switch, so I just turned it till it went off. Like it was like stuck or something. I have no idea.
Okay, so does it have an on-off button?
No.
What kind of flashlight was this?
It's like
The kind
it
you
wasn't
just
a
turned?
mag light. Yeah, it was the kind you just turn, and then once you turn it, all the way in,
Okay.
it turns on or whatever. And he's like, Augie grabs it, and he's like, I don't understand, man. So we actually took it and put new batteries in it, and then we set it back up down there in hopes that it would come back on.
Did it do it again?
Unfortunately, no.
Okay, so there's a possibility is that the battery was draining anyway, so it's going out. So I'm just throwing some like skeptical things at you.
Hey, that's fine. It's one of those things, if
I'm trying to debunk this because it could be that the battery was on its way out anyway. Same with the candle. So I don't know what the candle looked like. I don't know how much wax was in it, how much of a wick was left. So I just was, just giving my 2 cents. So we got that. So the only things that happened, or is there anything else happened on the first night?
Was there anything else, guys, on the first night?
I don't think so. I think it was just typical finding your orbs going through your video cameras and stuff like that. Nothing.
Okay.
I know Daniel, he was up in the attic and he was getting a lot of, he was like communicating with that Emily girl up there because she used to hang, she likes hanging out up.
So what kind of evidence did he bring to the table? Anything that could have been documented? Anything that was on? I mean, when you say communicated, you mean like telepathically?
No. On the SLS camera.
Okay,
Oh,
did you
no,
actually get evidence on that?
On his phone.
Yes, he got it on his phone.
And do you have that
He
on the
got it on his
website
phone.
or not?
No.
Not yet.
Okay.
Not yet.
And
We're
what
trying to
did
get
what
trying
did they
to get all the
say?
7 others to get all their stuff together so we can keep posting.
Okay, maybe we should have had this show a couple weeks from now. Okay. So, what did he get? Was there voices?
He got a
they
little
had
stick
communication.
figure.
He got a
Yep.
what?
He
I
got
didn't
the
hear
little
you,
stick
Sean.
figure on SLS. Can you hear me now?
Yes. What did you say?
He got a little stick figure on the SLS camera.
And now who was that? Russ or Daniel?
Daniel.
Oh, he has to connect too. Oh, he got that. Did he take any screenshots or picture?
He was using mine.
Okay. Did he get anything like a video or anything that you can upload?
Yes, his mom got it on her cell phone.
Okay,
She
so
was filming.
why don't you have them upload it to Pittsburgh Paranormal Society, or give it to Jason or Sean so the audio, listeners can see that. I like to see that.
Yeah, definitely. We'll work. Like I said, there's a couple, things. I've been going through my stuff exclusively and, posting a lot and, just trying to gather, when somebody sends something, we get it. And so it's going to be a continuous post, I think, for a little bit, because we don't want to flood with one giant post.
Yeah, of course.
Like, what is this? What is that?
Yeah.
We want to take our time, so everybody can really see firsthand
Yeah.
what we experience.
Okay, so the second night.
So the second
That's
night.
the crazy night.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Okay, so
I got sick.
Me and Jason.
You got sick, Russ?
Yeah, we were sitting around the table, and I went to the restroom,
Mm-hmm.
and I come back. I sat down, and all of a sudden I got a headache.
Oh.
I never get headache, never. And then the laser, Jason's laser grid, went off.
Mm-hmm.
yeah, twice.
So I went in and
batteries.
sat on the couch, and I was drained. So I went to bed, and I was out of it.
Yeah.
That's
the
pretty.
first time that's ever happened.
Wow. That's enough to be.
Yep.
So I can understand it because I know a lot of when there's it can be either demonic or a spirit that's not very happy that you do get physically sick.
Yes.
I was thinking that he took my energy.
Yes, they drain your.
We
Definitely.
did say if you need energy to do something, we were trying to get him to do the candle again.
Mm.
And he was told, take our energy if you need it.
Oh yeah,
And I
that'll
guess
give you
he
sick.
needed it.
That'll
Well,
get you
believe me,
sick.
Believe me,
Definitely.
the spirit used his energy later. We'll get to that in a few minutes.
Yeah.
So you got sick
That's a good
and
one.
you had to go to bed. Okay.
Yeah, I was just drained, and it was only like 10 o'clock.
Okay. And
Just so everybody knows, that's very out of character for us. I've known him for about
Yes.
8 years, and I personally have never seen this happen with him.
well,
So
Yeah.
Me neither.
there you go.
Me neither.
I can see that. Okay, so Russ he wasn't feeling well, so he took off. Okay. Then what happened?
he's like, I'm out. Peace.
Then what happened?
So I was running this laser grid, right? I have a semi-professional grade laser, and
Mhm.
it runs off of 18650 batteries, which are pretty high powerful batteries. They're used in vapes and everything of that nature as well. I think even in electric cars they use them in there somewhere. But anyways, so I had 4 of them fully charged. So I put one in. We go upstairs. I set it up. We had some cameras running and stuff. Came downstairs, watching the surveillance, and it goes out. I'm like, huh? Did the button pop by chance or whatever? So I go up, I check the laser out. Nothing's working. So I'm like, okay, this is strange. And I just put this fresh battery in. So I went downstairs. I was like, well, let me swap the battery just to make sure my laser's not broke or something happened to it. So I put a second battery in. like I said, freshly charged. They're ultra fire batteries, so they're pretty good. It worked fine. I'm like, okay, I'm gonna take us back up. Or now the room that the laser was in was the room that Augie and Roy were staying in, that the door was jiggling, that we'll talk about a little bit later on. So I set it back up in there, come back downstairs, go grab something to drink. I checked the monitor for his surveillance camera that was in there. The laser's out again. I'm like, there's no way. This is not possible. Like, those batteries are freshly charged. So I go upstairs, I get it. I'm like, well, let me throw a third battery in this thing, see what happens. I put another battery in it. It's up and working just fine. And then that battery lasted the rest of the night, which was just totally blew my mind. So whatever I think was in the attic and, around that doorway, I think was just absorbing all of that energy. Plus, it might have been the spirit or entity that, might have affected Russ. Like it was just absorbing as much energy from as much devices and everything as it could, because I also had a point of view camera, a full spectrum one, that the battery was just draining abnormally fast. And I'm like, what is going on with this thing? So I put it on a power bank just so it could keep running. I wouldn't, miss any footage. So whatever was up, it was definitely festering and, pulling a lot of energy from every direction it could from us as well as equipment. And just a little known fact, I talked to the owners and when we first got there, and I was asking, like, have you guys, has there been any activity lately? How's it going? It's been several months since we've been here, and they've informed me about what they like to call the dip. And what that is they're like, this place is very active, but they're like, it's like on a cycle almost. Like one weekend, it'll be off the charts, and he's like, then the next weekend, it's going to be kind of calm. And then the weekend after, it starts picking back up, because I think the first time we were there, we were on the bottom half of that.
Yeah.
But this time, we were definitely on the top part, and it was immensely active.
It seems like you had a lot more activity than at the Kinsman house, that's for sure.
Yeah, definitely. Definitely.
Okay, so you got the and then I know something happened to you. Okay, was the upstairs attic before that kind of crazy thing that happened to you downstairs in the basement?
The upstairs attic thing was actually after what happened in the basement to me. The attic was about 4:30 in the morning. Okay, because Augie told me Saturday, he's like, hey man, I think something was jiggling the door handle last night. He's like, I had it locked to the attic, I was like, okay, cool. So, so we'll set a camera up in there for the night. So I had one camera facing that door, and then another camera in the attic facing the stairs that lead to the door, so you could clearly see everything. And I think it was about 4 o'clock in the morning, 4:15. Me, Augie, and Roy were the last three standing, and everyone else was asleep. So we're just kind of moseying around, just kind of getting ready to call it a night. And so them guys go up. They were sharing that room. I go to my room that was next door, just winding down. And I was like, I need to get something to drink. So I walk downstairs, and now at this time it's about 4:30ish, somewhere around there. As I walk by the monitors, something caught my eye out of the attic monitor. So I'm like, whoa, what was that? So I'm looking at them, watching it, and I just see all these orbs that are heading to the stairwell. So I page Roy and Augie. I'm like, hey, you guys got to come out and check us out. There's all kinds of stuff looks like it's trying to get on the stairs, all these orbs and everything. So they come downstairs. So now the three of us are watching these monitors intently, watching the attic one. And then we hear something coming from their room on the monitor. Like, wait a second, what's going on here now? And it sounds like something had come down the stairs and was like knocking on the door or trying to jiggle the handle. We found there was a slide lock on the other side of the door as well, so maybe it was jiggling that. And then at some point it sounds like it started to go back upstairs. Like whatever it was trying to come through.
Okay, I'm a little confused. Okay, so I saw the clip, and you guys can see the clip on Paranormal Society too, Pittsburgh Paranormal Society, to see the clip that he's talking about with the door. Okay, that door was that the door to the attic, or was that the door to the room? And where was the door to the attic compared to the door that you have on the video?
The door that's on the video is the actual door to the attic. As soon as you open that is the stairwell.
Okay, so that door that in the video clip is the door to the attic.
Yes.
Okay, and that's where it was. Yes. That's where the noise was coming from.
Yes.
Okay, now I understand.
Yes.
Yeah. So if anybody checks the video out, there's nobody in that room. The three of us that were still awake were downstairs watching this happen. It was for a good solid 2 minutes. Like, it was starting to sound like it was trying to come through, then it paused for a second. And then actually, when I listened through it, there's an EVP in there. I can't understand what it's saying.
I didn't hear anything. I listened to it like 3 or 4 times.
Yeah, I would suggest with headphones because it's real quiet.
Mm-hmm.
But there's something there, and I'm not sure what it said, but there's definitely, some kind of spirit said something just real quick.
Yeah, if someone can hear it and pick it up, let us know what you guys think. And I got that phone number if you have any questions, too, for Jason, Russ, or Sean. It's 504-273-7379. And you guys keep an eye on the chat if you see anybody in the wings, because I know I always miss it. I always miss it. Okay, so we have the attic. And did you describe the feeling that something that happened to you in the basement? Did you?
Oh my!
That's fun. Oh God Almighty!
So
Jenny, imagine this, okay? 305-pound guy, 6'2", falling in your lap. Honest to Pete.
No, this entity fell in Jason's lap or your lap?
No, I jumped out of my shoes.
Oh, Jason fell in my lap.
Oh, okay. So you're saying Jason fell on you because you were scared.
Yes, he did.
Okay, so the presence you felt.
Oh,
I want you to go into detail what you felt.
All right, so here's the thing. Ever since I got involved with paranormal, it's literally like an addiction. Like, once you find your first piece of evidence or something happens, you just want more and more, and you just literally can't stop. So I've, recently been doing a lot of thinking about it. It's like, I'm looking for that one particular investigation. My ultimate goal is that it scares me and the team so bad that we just pack up and leave. Now, this is the next best thing, is what happened this weekend.
So that didn't happen. We weren't scared enough for you to leave, though.
Well, it wasn't scared enough to leave, but this is definitely one for, my record books.
Okay.
Because I've never had this happen. So we're in that room in the basement, Sean and I. As I said, hey, Sean, let's just meet and we'll go down. We'll do a REM pod in a K2 session. So like, okay, everyone else is, throughout the house doing whatever. So we go down there, and this is that same room that I was telling you about that's real negative and, just real bad. So there was like a lounge chair there and a regular chair. There's some old shelves. There's literally nothing in there. Nothing. There was a can of Twisted Tea. Someone put a sign on it that said, if St. Michael doesn't help, use this can of Twisted Tea.
I hope St. Michael can.
That was funny.
So anyway, so we're down there, and I'm excited for this REM pod. I want to see some REM pod hits, some K2 hits, and everything. So we're just asking questions, trying to figure out who's there, who turned the flashlight on, and we're not really getting anything. And I'm like, man, it's kind of quiet down here. And, so we're just like, we'll hang out for a few more minutes, whatever. Let's keep communicating, and hopefully something will come through.
Mm-hmm.
So now that part of the basement in that room where we were, behind us was like a makeshift wall. And then behind that was like the furnace area and like another room which actually had the entrance to the tunnel that used to lead underground to the river, I believe, for the when they did their coal mining or whatever they were doing. And that's where a lot of negative energy came from, is that particular area, this investigation and the last investigation. So we're there, and like I said, nothing's really going on, and I'm running film the whole time. I was like, if something's going to happen, I'm catching this. And it's pitch black. So, when you watch the video, you obviously see that. It's pitch black in there. So we're talking, and I said, hey, Edwin, did you turn that flashlight on yesterday? And then I didn't. Then there was nothing, and then I heard a noise, and at that moment I said, Sean, I was like, did you hear that? And he's like, hear what? He's like, maybe upstairs. And then from that back room, something full speed shuffled right at me, to the point that I was like, oh shit. And I literally jumped out of my seat, literally fell into Sean. I'm surprised my boots were still on my feet at this moment.
Did you see anything? You felt something shuffling near you. What did it feel like? You felt like a human form shuffle, or was it like a breath of like wind?
No, it was something scurrying on the floor.
Ooh, on the floor.
Fast. Yeah, like it was like shuffling. Like it didn't pick its feet up. It definitely wasn't human. And I'll get to another part of this, after this section, to kind of describe what it was. I don't know yet. But it was just something, like the best way to describe it is people that have heard it have said it sounded like it had webbed feet. It was trying to run, but they can't run, like just a quick shuffle on the floor.
A webbed feet creature.
That's what it sounded like. That's the best way to describe what it sounded like. And like I said, the video for that is on the Facebook page. So if anybody wants to check it out, they can leave us your comments, what you think it is. But I tell you what, Jenny, that thing scared. I was out of my shoes, and then once I calmed down, I'm like, "Holy crap! I can't believe what just happened." I'm going to try and find this thing. Got cameras on. We're doing all this, trying to find it, snapping pictures and everything. Sean, it was funny because after that we went upstairs. He's sitting on the couch. I'm like, hey, Pap, you all right? He's like,
I was done.
I'm going to bed. He's like, you scared the shit out of me.
I want to see if there's any
my heart was racing.
webfoot, like a cryptic creature. I don't know if there's anything like that. If anybody has heard of anything like that, definitely post on our site, because I'm looking online right now for any kind of web. I'm not seeing anything. I never seen like a entity that has webbed feet. I'm sorry. I just can't. What?
Roy saw it, and he drew a picture of it.
Yeah, I seen the picture, but I don't know. He saw a bunch of platypus. That's what I said. I don't know. Like, I'm not trying to knock us down or anything, but it didn't look very scary to me. I saw the picture, and please, if you guys can do a screenshot of that picture and post it on Pittsburgh Paranormal Society.
Definitely, we'll post that. Like we said, we're not sure if that was something that Roy saw later on when we were back down there. But at that moment that it was just Sean and I, something ran up on me. That's something that
maybe it's a web-footed demon. I don't know if there is one.
I don't know. I have no idea. But that's just the best way I could describe, to our listeners what it sounded like. Like, imagine something with webbed feet trying to run full speed at you from behind you, and you can't see it.
What's that?
This is the first time in 8 years that I saw Jason scared. I mean, literally scared. He was as white as a ghost. No pun intended. I mean, it really scared the crap out of me.
Well, yeah, something scared you. Now, we have to find out, was it a spirit or was it a demon? It sounds to me like, I don't think a spirit would do that. I think it sounds more like something kind of like a demonic entity that would be there that would do that.
I mean, that would make the most logical sense in my opinion, because spirits are normally people like you and I, past and are still around. Now, when you get to the other spectrum, and this house has a lot of claims of being demonic. There's a very good possibility it could have been something of that nature that we don't know what it is.
Yeah. And I haven't found anything I'm searching on Google, and I'm not seeing, and there's that duck one. There's a duck site. It's called a duck Google. Some kind of, it's a search browser. And I'm not seeing anything on here about duck feet. I'm sorry, but I'm not going to mock the demon if he's here because I don't want him to visit me tonight. I wish there was, we need a demonologist on the show that could show him the picture or her the picture, and maybe there is a demon. I used to have a demon. I'm afraid to look for it. My sons have it. They have a demon encyclopedia.
Oh wow!
Yeah, they were.
Oh really?
Yes.
Wow, that's cool.
And I don't know if they still have it. I don't have it here because I think I don't want it here. I used to read the stupid thing. Yeah, a web-footed demon would. If anybody's listening, might have any knowledge of what it could have been. The picture will be posted on Pittsburgh Paranormal Society's Facebook page because it is rather charming looking. Artistic talent he does have. So you were scared out of the bejeebies.
Oh, the bejeebies were gone.
How did you sleep that night?
Well, considering that, once I decided to go lay down,
did you sleep with Sean?
No.
I would have been. I'd been scared.
It wasn't that cold in there. No, but the room I was in was pretty active too. So I think I got like 3 hours of sleep that night because there was just so much noise going on in my room.
Yeah, you kept on hearing the noise. Now that was your room, or was that Russ's room? Didn't you guys say that was the same roommate?
Yeah, it's Roy and Augie shared one room.
Okay.
I had a room. And then actually Russ slept with Sean.
Okay.
Yeah.
You guys didn't hear anything in your room?
Yeah, I walk in there in the middle of the night because I start sounding. I'm like, why does it smell like Ben Gay in a nursing home in here?
Oh my God, Sean, are you using Ben Gay?
He's ignorant. He's ignorant, man.
Oh jeez.
He's ignorant.
He's
I heard
ignorant.
all this rumbling and there was like, oh
my goodness.
I gotta check this out. You see Russ over there all sprawled out and his passed out, pap air, lips flapping in his snores.
Oh my goodness.
I was like, I gotta get out of here.
I'm gonna see if there's a demon encyclopedia
He'll pay
on
for
here.
that one.
But yeah, like if any of our listeners check out that video on our page, please listen to the audio of what it sounds like, and if you have any clues that you could let us know, like that sounds like this particular, possible demon or this kind of entity. Let us know because we really would like to get to the bottom of that.
Yeah,
because it's a new experience.
Well, I have an idea for you. Why don't you try to look up who has been there, a paranormal investigators, and show them the picture and see if anybody else seen it.
Well, considering that's a vast window of.
Yeah, well, I'm sure you can Google some. I know there's
the thing, Jenny.
Yeah.
Here's the thing. There was when we were leaving on Sunday, me and Roy went down there, and after he drew it out upstairs, okay. So we get downstairs, and he's like, "Well, maybe I'll leave this picture here." I took a picture of it. Well, there was a piece of like a styrofoam container laying on the table, so he moved it so he could put the picture down, make sure it wouldn't blow away if anything happened or something crazy. When he moved it, there was a very similar looking drawing on the table to what
you should have took a picture of it.
Oh, we got it.
You got a picture of the table?
Yeah.
I want to see it.
Yeah, I'll be sure to send it to you. And it's like, it's not an identical drawing, but it's very similar. Like you guys seen it, Russ and Sean. Like you can't tell me that's it's gotta be that's there.
I don't know if anybody can see this picture. I wish I could. I don't know if you're going to be able to see it. I found something. I wish I had the original picture that you probably won't be able to see it. Are you guys have me on? Can you see me, Sean, Jason?
Yeah.
Can you see this creature?
No, it's real bright.
No,
the camera's making it real bright.
I'm gonna send it to you right now. It looks kind of like the picture that he drew, and I have to find out what's the name of this guy. But it's coming. They're saying it's from a witch coven.
Now there was even more. There was something else that was strange that happened down there to me, Roy, and Augie. See, this is pretty interesting, and So we were in that same room later on after whatever scared the bejeebus out of me. After I got my bejeebus back, I had a Monster Energy drink to keep me going. We went back down there, and we decided to go pitch black.
Mm-hmm.
Like we were just going to use our senses. You know, I had one camera running, looking back towards the furnace area, which I'll get to in a minute. So we're down there. We decided to go pitch black, and then things started to look kind of strange. Like the room we were in was fine.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing out of the ordinary. You could see just a little bit, you know, from the light of the camera or whatever. And but when you look through the door to the right, there was just something odd about the room. All of a sudden, it was like we were almost seeing like a grid.
Oh, that's what you were saying. It was sort of like you were in a time warp.
Yes, it was like we were looking at like a grid, and then everything started getting real wavy, like you would see in like a cartoon. And like you said, it was almost like a time warp. And I was like, maybe my eyes just playing tricks on me, you know? So I look over to my left, and everything was fine. And I'm like, hey guys, do you see this by chance? And both of them at the same time were like, it's this, that. And I'm like, oh my gosh, we're all seeing the same
Okay.
thing.
Now, was there any way that they could have been pumping some kind of gas into the vents of the house? Some kind of LSD?
We disconnected the gas line to the front and started huffing it, you know?
Okay, so that's kind of freaky.
So while we see that is when Roy saw that creature or whatever it was looking at him. Now, I didn't see it, and Augie didn't see it, but he saw it. And that's where he got the drawing from.
Now, did you guys see the picture I sent you?
Yeah.
What do you think? Does that look like it?
Yes, but a little bit smaller.
Okay, well, this is from a which they said it's from a demon's name. I have to find out the devil. It's a black witch coven. I'm gonna find out more. I'm gonna go to the website and I'm gonna look at it, see if I can find out exactly which one that one is. That's pretty scary.
Yeah, definitely. Let's know.
I can't even say the name of it. It's just I'd have to. I don't want to say the name of it. I'll have a duck run after me tonight. My dog is gonna go crazy.
So there's actually one last thing cool that happened down there. Okay, so I had a full spectrum point of view camera running on the power bank looking towards the furnace, right? Well, me, Roy, and Augie were experiencing like the time warp situation. So when we decided to call it a night down there, I went to get my camera, and I heard my phone go off like a screenshot twice.
Oh, that's weird.
I'm like, what the heck is going on? I ain't even touching it, you know, it was in my pocket. So I pull it out, I get my phone, and I'm looking at it, and it took a screenshot because I had my camera linked to my phone, okay?
Mm-hmm.
So I could see, what my camera saw at any given point. So I'm looking at these screenshots, and in one of the pictures, I just found it a little bit ago after, I decided not to look at it for a couple of days just to make sure it wasn't, something that I was misseeing.
Mm-hmm.
I actually caught two faces in one photo. So my point of view camera was recording video. My phone went off on a screenshot at total random, and in that screenshot, there's two faces.
I want to see that too. Cameras. Oh my god!
I'm gonna be sure to post that and send it as well. So I was like, wow, what is the odds of that?
Yeah, I mean, I've been listening to you, and I've done a lot of research online. Other paranormal groups have been to the house. Some really go into detail of how horrible it is, and some of them don't even want to go. But then there's other ones, like you said, that they said nothing happened. And then I was reading Kristen's on her the history of the and the rules and regulations of the house, and she said something weird that I thought was kind of strange. Do not open any portals. Do not open the portals. No, isn't that what you guys are doing when you're down there?
No.
Doing investigations?
No,
they're already open.
Yeah.
They're already open because she said they were closed.
Yes, but they open up once when people start investigating and doing stuff.
That's what I mean. So aren't you opening the portals when you do the investigation? And in her rules and regulations, she says do not open them. That's what I didn't understand.
We have no control of it.
Yeah, it was kind of strange. It was kind of strange. what she said. Do not open the portals. And I'm like, well, isn't that what you're doing when you go there?
No, we're trying to communicate with what is there. Maybe get some answers to questions, or see if they want to spook us out of there.
Okay.
Kind of thing,
Now, I'm going to read you exactly what she says on her website. No Ouija boards, no urns, no mirrors or minor rites, no haunted objects, no to trigger the activity, absolutely no rituals of any kind, no opening or closing portals, no exceptions. That's what I don't understand. I go, well, isn't that what you guys, when you do your investigations, aren't you opening portals?
So what she's saying there is no opening or closing of portals. Now, in that house, there claims to be 11 portals already that are open at all times. Mm-hmm. So basically, she asked us, even when we met her the first time, please do not close them. Now we as investigators don't have any control over new portals that may open up, or if they close or open on their own. Like, that's totally out of our hands.
Yeah, it just didn't make sense with it. What she's, I don't understand it, because that's what, if they're already open, or
she the ones that are open, she wants to stay open and doesn't want anybody to close them. Now she doesn't want anybody coming in performing rituals or doing anything that could potentially open more portals that could lead to something really bad,
demonic, or what's already demonic. I don't know.
So
it sounds like
she's okay with what's there right now.
Okay, I just didn't understand that, and I was like, when I do my research, I get all these questions, and I just didn't understand that one. So she doesn't want you opening new portals. And she doesn't mind having the ones that are already open to stay open and bring the monsters and duck webbed feet into the area. Okay. Well, how are we on time, guys?
It's 7:55.
So what's our bewitching hour? Are we okay?
I guess we're okay. I didn't get a text message from the boss.
So we can keep going?
Yeah, probably a couple minutes, I guess.
Okay. I always don't want to get anybody angry.
So Russ, I wanted to ask Russ.
Yeah.
Now that you had some time to, wind down from the investigation, because this was Russ's first time there, him and his wife Jan.
Yeah,
this was their first time at Blair House. Like, what could you tell, like the audience being a first time, like if they were interested in going to the Blair House, like what you felt like? How do you think that they would enjoy it?
It's a pretty good place. I mean, we got a lot of great evidence. A lot of times we don't. This time we did. And the candle, that did freak me out, but a lot of people would just look at that and say, the candle went out. But until you experience firsthand any spirit or any paranormal event, till you find it firsthand, that's what sticks in your, like you said before. Once you see something like that, you chase it the rest of your life. Just like the people that see Bigfoot. First time you see Bigfoot, that's what you end up doing the rest of your life, because you don't want to think you're going crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Well, Russ, I wear size 15, so you're going to see me the rest of your life.
Oh, my God. Size 15 foot?
Yeah, so you already met Bigfoot.
I thought my kids had big feet. Okay, so the question is, Russ, Sean, and Jason, is Blair House a portal to hell, or is it just a nice haunting and a nice place to go if you are interested in doing a ghost hunt?
I'll take the
nice place.
It's a nice place to.
It's a nice place to go investigate.
So you shouldn't be. It's not a portal. Okay, good. To hell, like they're saying, they're comparing it to Amityville, and
I feel like
see that happen.
Yeah, I feel like whatever's in Blair House.
There's no blood dripping down the ceiling. No. You don't get thrown against the wall and pinned by a ghostly entity that wants to suck your tongue out or something. Or a duck to web your. I don't know what ducks quack you to death. Okay, that sounds good.
Blair House is a good one. Especially if you take some first timers there that are new, that are paranormal, it might scare them a bit if it's active that weekend. Like we said, there's some negative stuff there, but it hasn't, caused any harm or anything. So we don't think it's anything like super bad.
Okay. Well, I think we're getting our message to get off. Okay. So it sounds great. So if you guys want to check out the clips, go to Pittsburgh Paranormal Society. Check them out. Chasing Prophecy Facebook page. If you go to our YouTube channel or Pittsburgh Paranormal Society, you will be able to find those evidence clips. Check out our, a new paranormal novel by Myron Edward, On the Island of Love, and one's man obsession to turn his possession, his mind and body and spirit over between two worlds and two women. You can check him out on Kindle, on Amazon. I want to thank my good friends at Audible. You can go to www.audibletrial.com, Chasing Prophecy Radio. Click on it. You get a free premiere subscription. Please check out my author page, J. Nicasio. Check out our YouTube channel. Subscribe to Chasing Prophecy. We need those likes and we need those subscriptions. ChasingProphecyRadio.com YouTube channel. And good night, everyone. And thanks for tuning in to Chasing Prophecy.
Good night. Thank you.